home opener for the Seattle Mariners since 2008. That's why a lot of excitement up here. But as far as the Angels are concerned, Albert Pujols, they need a big year out of him.
What a magical year they had last season from Albert Pujols. Take a look at our T-Mobile game changer. Albert Pujols, 28 home runs last year, 520 in his career, 105 RBI, mix in 561 career doubles. That's a lot of extra base hits for the machine.
Halos are ready to kick off the 2015 season. We're just about ready for baseball in Seattle. Sit back and relax. Lineups at first pitch when we return. And by Jack in the Box, the new buttery Jack burgers with melted garlic herb butter. Well, as we mentioned, it is a pretty good crowd here at Safeco Field. They opened up the roof about an hour ago. They had their player introductions, as every team does on opening day, or at least on their home opener. And I tell you what, they are excited in this town because they expect this ball club to be very, very good and very exciting with the addition of Nelson Cruz to go with that pitching staff. Overall, as we talked about through the Freeway Series, the fact that the American League West in general is going to be very, very good.
That's going to be a lot of fun. It's great for baseball. It's great for the Angels to have this type of competition within your division. Seattle is going to be very, very good.
Felix Hernandez and the Seattle Mariners have taken the field, and that is usually our cue to get you the starting lineup for your Los Angeles Angels. As presented by manager Mike Scioscia, game number 1 of 162. The Halos last year, of course, at 98 and 64. Will have their leadoff man leading things off. Cole Calhoun in right field. Mike Trout will bat second. He'll play center. Albert Pujols at first base. Matt Joyce will be the cleanup hitter, and he will play left field. David Freese at third. Eric Ibar, the shortstop. C.J. Cron, the designated hitter. Chris Iannetta behind the plate. He'll bat eighth. And Johnny Giavotella, making his first opening day roster, gets to start at second base, and he will bat ninth. They are taking on the Venezuelan native. He's known as the king around here. He is Felix Hernandez.
Yeah, 15-game winner last year. Outstanding ERA, 2.14 fastball, 90-95 slider, curveball, changeup, very good one. All 4+ pitches. But the key is to be successful against King Felix. Jump on that heater early. He loves to establish his fastball early in the game, square it up, jump on it, and when you're on the base, be very aggressive. Steal some bases, take the extra base to score some runs, because it's going to be difficult to score a lot against the King.
Check out the Mariners defensively behind Hernandez. You have Ackley, Jackson, and Smith in the outfield from left to right. The infield has Seager, Miller, Cano, and Morrison. around from third to first, and it's Zunino doing the catching.
Yeah, we often talk about Robinson Cano with the bat, but with the glove, Robinson Cano is one of the best. Two-time Gold Glove winner at second base, .987 fielding percentage last year, turned 103 double plays, one of the best at doing so.
Halos last year did not fare very well against the Seattle Mariners, overall 7-12, and they certainly had their hands full with Felix Hernandez. Hernandez last year, the runner-up to the American League Cy Young, to Corey Kluber, and some thought perhaps even at that point he should have won the Cy Young, but he was electric against the Angels. So the Halos, aside from Mike Trout, who's got pretty decent numbers against Felix Hernandez, will have a lot of trouble trying to figure him out because he's been very good against the Angels the last 2 years.
And his career, King Felix, this is 11-13, but you mentioned last 2 seasons, especially last year, 5-1 with an ERA 1.80 over the last 2 seasons against King Felix.
Well, last year it was 0.79 against
I'm
the
trying
Angels.
to be positive. I'm going to 181.
34 innings, 14 hits, 47 strikeouts. Here's the first one of 2015, and it is a fastball for a strike.
That's a 1-12 first pitch, 1-1-2.
Cole Calhoun, a season ago, a .272 batting average, 17 home runs, 58 runs batted in, and had 31 stolen bases. Or pardon me, 31 doubles. This one's tapped foul, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
And that's one thing about Felix Hernandez and Jared Weaver. They throw a lot of strikes. They work quickly, change speeds exceptionally well.
Yeah, the speed up clock should not come into play too often with either one of these starters. That's a called strike 3, and there's the first out of 2015.
Pretty good spot on the fastball. And the thing is, with his changeup velocity is 88 to 90. That's a lot of people's fastballs. But his fastball anywhere between 90 and 95. He throws a 2-seam fastball, a 4-seam fastball, and spots it exceptionally well.
So Mike Trout steps into the batter's box, swings at the first one, pulls it foul.
I like that. Be aggressive against him. He's had good numbers. Over 360 in his career versus Felix Hernandez for Mike Trout.
Reigning American League Most Valuable Player, hit .287 last year, career high in home runs and runs batted in, 36 and 111. That's a strike. Larry Vanover, the home plate umpire, ringing that one up. And it is 0-2, and those were, as we talked about through the weekend, the pitch that gave Trout some trouble last year. High fastball.
Wonderful. Go another high fastball.
And it's 1-2.
And Mike did a great job in spring training as far as not chasing that pitch.
Albert Pujols on deck. 1 out, just starting here in Seattle. Fouled off to the right. We'll reset and do it again. A cloudy day here in Seattle. Not a whole lot of breeze. Cooler temperatures. This one lifted down the right field line. Long run for Seth Smith and Logan Morrison, but this one headed to the seats. Still at a ball and 2 strikes.
Boy, Austin Jackson's going to have to cover a lot of ground in center field. He is a very good center fielder. Ackley playing left, who started in the major leagues as a second baseman. Seth Smith, a lot of times serving as a DH, especially when he's in the American League. So he's going to have to cover a lot of ground, and he could do so.
Another foul off to the right. Almost like when Torrey was flanked by Bobby Abreu and Juan Rivera.
Get worn out by the 4th inning.
Yep.
But Ackley is starting to get comfortable out in left field. He's made some nice plays over the last couple of seasons, but it's not an easy thing to go as a second baseman to an outfielder in the major leagues.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Zunino wanted an appeal, but Vanover said he did not go around. Felix a season ago, 15-6 and a 2.14 ERA, 236 innings, 170 hits, 248 punch-outs racked up.
Only 46 walks, though. That's amazing.
2-2, and that is skied out to straightaway center field. A towering shot. Jackson back at the wall. He'll leap up, and that is gone. Big fly for Mike Trout for the second consecutive opening day. Homers off Felix Hernandez, and the Angels have a 1-0 lead.
Unbelievable again for Mike Trout. And I love the way he looked into his dugout as he came around. That was a good at bat. Fought off some tough pitches. Got one pitch finally to drive. And as usual, Mike Trout did not miss it. It was elevated right down the heart of the plate. And what Mike Trout did a lot in spring, carried over the regular season, hit the ball to center field, to left center field, and that ball was crushed. Felix was hoping that somehow Austin Jackson would bring that one back, but unable to do so. Trout once again. He's good, by the way.
He's getting better. He's learning. Albert looks at ball one. So the strikeout of Calhoun, and now a home run by Trout. The Angels lead at 1-0. Albert looks at a strike on the corner. 28 home runs and 105 runs batted in for Albert a season ago. 37 doubles. Two balls and one strike.
We're just going back to that at bat by Trout. A number of real good pitches that Felix threw to him, fouled him off, took a couple ones just below the strike zone, and then got that one mistake and hits it out.
Albert looks at a fastball. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. That home run by Trout sort of let the air out of the balloon here at Safeco. And he chases the breaking ball. Now they're calling it a foul tip, or foul ball, I should say. Foul tip actually goes into the mitt. Albert got a piece of the ball, hit the ground. No real argument for Mike Zunino. Both guys are selling it.
I was going to say that was a good job by Albert. Well, that baseball definitely did hit the dirt.
Little dribbler up the line, trickles foul, and count will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the importance of these long at bats too, especially your first start as a starter, you're going to be limited around that 100 pitch mark. Already 17 pitches thrown in this top of the first by Felix Hernandez. Didn't complete any games last year. Still threw 236 innings.
And down goes Pujols, round number 2, second strikeout. Let's go back and take a look at the Trout home run opening day last season.
First at bat. And a breaking ball, looked like it hung on the inner part of the plate, dropped the head of the bat, drove out to left center field, well out. And his first at bat of the season again this year against King Felix, a pitch right down the heart of the plate. Just left of that center field sign. Home run again. Back-to-back opening day home runs for Trout against one of the best pitchers in all of baseball.
That ball had some height, too. He's usually more of a line drive home run here. That ball got up in the air. A lot of carry out to center.
But he is so strong. And remember, still, he's just 23 years old. It's incredible.
Matt Joyce, the left fielder, cleanup hitter this afternoon. He'll look at a strike, and it's 0-2. Joyce last year with the Rays, a .254 average, 9 home runs, 52 RBIs. Picked up in a trade with the Rays this offseason, along with Cesar Ramos from Kevin Jepson. And Felix Hernandez strikes out the side, but sandwiched in there was a solo home run by Mike Trout, first of the year. Straight away center field shot that puts the Angels up 1-0.
Boy, just how strong is Mike Trout. Well, there's a pretty good indication of that. Out over the plate, dead center field.
Look at manager Lloyd McClendon starting 9 for the Seattle Mariners. Austin Jackson will lead things off. He is the center fielder. Seth Smith, new acquisition. He's in right. Robinson Cano is second base. Nelson Cruz, big signing in the offseason to a 4-year contract. Cleanup hitter DH. Kyle Seager in third. Logan Morrison at first. Mike Zunino, the catcher. Dustin Ackley at left. And Brad Miller, the shortstop, batting 9. Taking on Jared Weaver, 18-game winner a season ago.
Very solid season once again for Jared Weaver. ERA 3.59. Fastball, don't worry about velocity, but the keys for Weaver here today will always be able to command in that fastball. Back to those keys, control those emotions early in the game for Weaver. Anytime you get that open day start, you just kind of relax and avoid Robinson Cano in critical times.
This is one hopper to short. Eric Ibar has it. And there is the first out. Let's take a look at the Angels defensively here on opening day. Matt Joyce in left, Mike Trout in center, Cole Calhoun in right. The infield has David Freese and Eric Ibar on the left side, Johnny Giavatello and Albert Pujols on the right side, and Chris Iannetta behind the plate.
And as most times with Weave, you know he got a ground ball out there. He's mostly a fly ball pitcher. Cole Calhoun, outstanding in right field. 9 outfield assists. He's one of 4 right fielders in Major League Baseball with 8 or more assists and 1 or less. He was unbelievable in consideration for the Gold Glove.
Weaver falls behind and a ball and no strikes on Seth Smith. Padres a season ago hit 266 for the Pods, 12 home runs, 48 RBIs. Former Rocky, former Oakland Athletic. He seemed to get some big hits for the Oakland A's against the Angels quite a bit. Or so it appeared.
He'll jump on a fastball, that's for sure. Even last season with the Padres, I think, had a big home run opening day for them.
Justin Ruggiano and Seth Smith scheduled to be the platoon partners for the Seattle Mariners. 2-1. Side with a breaking ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. Weaver last year, 213 in the 3rd innings, 193 hits allowed. And an ERA of 3.59. Full count. Those 213 in the 3rd innings, most innings since 2011 for Jared. Yeah, you're just over 235.
And he put on some added weight during the offseason to be able to be in or even deeper in the games and complete games this year.
That is ripped to the alley in right center field. It'll get down for a hit and more. All the way to the wall. Smith on his way to second. He will slam on the brakes there, and it's a 1-out double.
And my Hyundai key for this game, a little Big Sean and Drake. Blessings. What an unbelievable opportunity to have opening game. Some of the biggest stars in all of baseball. Mike Trout, home run. Top of first, you got Weave on the hill, King Felix, and Robinson Cano, who's coming up the plate. So the stars are out here for opening day.
Smith on board with a double. First base open. Robinson Cano at the plate. This is one of the situations in which kind of forced the Mariners to go out and sign Nelson Cruz. He struggled with protection of Cano. First one up and away. Robinson last year, his first as a Seattle Mariner, hit .314, 14 home runs and 82 runs batted in. He's fully embraced being a Seattle Mariner. Being a leader in the clubhouse, in the community. Two and 0. To all 3 batters that Weaver has faced here this first inning, he's fallen behind on.
And that's the difficult thing, is trying to control your emotions. And also, as a starter on opening days, everything's a little bit different as far as times to get ready. Starting pitchers are creatures of habit. They know exactly how many throws they're going to make before they're going in the game, but things are delayed with the national anthem and first baseball ceremonies.
2-1. Cano doesn't like the call. Robinson with good numbers against Weaver in his career. 375. 15 for 40. Trout with a home run at the top of the first inning. Seth Smith with a double with one out here in the bottom of the frame. Fouled off to the left.
That's the beauty of Weaver being able to throw a 2-0 changeup. Throws an 83-mile-an-hour fastball. Robinson, you know, a great fastball hitter, is late on that one.
Yeah, the mentality sometimes for hitters with Weaver is you're almost looking for the off-speed pitch and trying to react to the fastball.
But Weaver does a great job of pitching backwards so well.
Full count.
What I mean by pitching backwards, when you're in a fastball count, he'll throw something off speed. When you're in an off-speed count, he'll go with a fastball.
A Mariners team that was dead last year in team batting average, tied for 11th in runs scored. 3-2. This is pull to the right side. Giavotella has it. Waits for Albert. 2 down.
Boy, perfect positioning by Giavotella to be able to field that ground ball. He was playing, you know, to pull the ball. Great in position to get that second out.
You know, and I say those numbers for the Seattle Mariners just to point out the issues that they had offensively, and that's why they wanted to address that. Their pitching staff, one of the best, if not the best, in Major League Baseball last year, from starters to their bullpen. So they had that locked down, and that's why they went out and acquired not only Smith, but also this guy at the plate, Nelson Cruz, signing a 4-year deal in the offseason. Nelson last year with the Orioles, his one and only season with Baltimore, hit .271, led the American League in home runs with 40. Drove in 108. 2 balls, no strikes.
A lot of the career at bats for Cruz against Weaver. Of course, being a former Texas Ranger, also 71 career at bats against Weaver. 15 for 71 with .211 batting average. 2 big flies though.
Breaking ball, lays off. And it's 3 balls and no strikes.
Hobie swinging here. That's one thing about Nelson Cruz, and most power hitters are going to be hacking 3-0.
On the corner, 3-1.
Unless you throw a pitcher's pitch like that, right on the corner, or maybe slightly off the corner.
Mariners DHs last year hit .190. Slugging percentage of .301. Fouled off to the right.
It's like the batting average for pitchers in the National League.
And that's one of the reasons they went out and tried to address the issue. Now, they flirted with signing Nelson Cruz. As a matter of fact, they had come to terms for last season, prior to last season, on a 1-year deal with an option. But ownership nixed the deal. That's why he ended up signing in Baltimore. Popped him up.
Great pitch.
Yep. Johnny Giavotella underneath it. And it's a shutdown inning for Jared Weaver. I'll bet he'd like to have it a little bit differently as far as command, but he'll take it. Angels up 1-0. Courtesy of Mike Trout's home run in the first. Hey, folks, newly released tickets are available for opening night Friday when the Angels take on the Kansas City Royals at 7:05. Purchase your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office, or you can do it online at angels.com. David Freese, Eric Ibar, and C.J. Cron to face Felix Hernandez here in the second. Felix picked up 3 strikeouts in the first, but also gave up that home run to Trout. Trout, and that first fastball in.
And we saw that a lot last year. They're still trying to pitch David Freese inside. He made a lot of good adjustments in spring, and even against the Dodgers, a fastball in, turned on it, hit it out. Boy, Mike Trout just lives for those moments. What an opportunity. Again, opening day, your first at bat of the season against one of the best pitchers in the game. Last year did it, this year did it for Trout against King Felix. Those magical moments you see on opening day.
You just never know. It's like George Bell hitting 3 in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
He's a member of the Blue Jays.
I remember that well.
2-1 pitch to David. Breaks his bat and bounces it foul.
As I recall, I think he had a home run the next day, and I was pitching third game, and I made sure I threw 4 really good sliders in the dirt every time up. Could walk them. When a guy's that hot, sees the ball that well, it doesn't matter if it's opening day or the 100th game of the year. They're just locked in. Special players just rise to those occasions, and Trout is certainly one of them.
We're back inside. It's a called strike 3. Larry Vanover's got the strike zone working today. It's a big one. Says guys better swing the bats.
It's 2 swinging and 2 looking already. And that's just off the inside corner. And he's not necessarily overpowering like he once was when he was 97, 98, but his movement on his fastball is outstanding. That's 91 with movement and the trust to go inside.
So 4 punch outs now for Hernandez. Here's Eric Ibar, the shortstop, batting in the 6th spot. 278 a season ago, 7 home runs, 68 runs batted in. Little bouncer to the right side. Cano has it. 2 down. Halos a year ago, 46 and 35 out on the road. They were 3 and 6 here in Seattle.
Remember last year at a spring training, Mike Scioscia's goals were to get off to a better start in the month of April. It was better, 1 game over 500, and play better within division. 43 and 33.
Definitely did that. Against the Mariners, the Angels pitched well against them. They just didn't hit as a team. Just a 208 batting average against Seattle through the season last year. See if the youngster C.J. Cron can stay as hot as he was during spring training.
Talk about using the entire field.
Got into 79 games last year in his rookie season. 256, 11 home runs, and 37 RBIs. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
One thing the hitters have to do with, as far as a mental note, what we've seen so far in the first couple of innings. Now, Felix does change quite a bit throughout the game, but he's throwing a lot of first pitch fastballs on the inner half. If you're ever going to look for something in and cheat on that fastball inside, you might want to do it early on against Felix.
Back to the outside corner.
Yeah, that one just off the corner also. 2 very good pitchers with good control, getting the benefit of those borderline pitches.
Right. So, I mean, the report's got to be going back to the dugout. As Cron skies one here on the infield. If it's close, you better be swinging. Brad Miller calls off Robinson Cano. The Angels go down in order. We'll head to the bottom of the second with the Angels on top. the opening of the 2015 campaign.
It's a great venue up here, Safeco Field. Got the shift on for Seager.
Kyle Seager, Logan Morrison, Mike Zunino for the Seattle Mariners here in the second.
That's a pretty good pitch. I really like what Weaver did with Albert Pujols. Allowed Albert to go back a little bit deeper at first because he said he has anything on that first baseline, he'll be there to cover and help him out. More coverage on that side of the infield now.
David Freese playing near the cut of the grass, just to the left of the normal third base position as the count evens up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's 5 batters, which is so uncharacteristic for Weaver. He's yet to throw a first pitch strike. Off the end of the bat, good off-speed pitch. Well, you just saw Seager there trying to wait as long as possible to pull the trigger, and there's the first out.
That's the beauty of Weaver. He can just change speed so well. He changes speed on his breaking ball and his changeup. Good slow breaking ball. You see the hitch. Seager trying to stay back. The hips are already opened up, and the hands are dragging through. You're not going to be able to hit that ball hard. And a weak ground ball out. Tarek Ibar by Seager off of Weaver. Sometimes some pitchers are better off when they're even behind the counts early on, especially for Weaver because he's establishing his off speed. Then you'll see as the game progresses, then he'll start spotting his fastball inside and out because they're going to start looking off speed, and then they're going to be late on his fastball.
He gets ahead of Logan Morrison, the first baseman. Popped him up. Eric Ibar cutting out. 2 down. I was just going to ask you about that. Was it just about feel? Is it the weather? Is it the dryness? Trying to, because obviously you're in Arizona for an extended period of time. He did not pitch in Southern California during the Freeway Series, and all of a sudden now you're here in this, just trying to find your rhythm, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, and it was 90, 95 every day the last couple of weeks down in Tempe, and then all of a sudden you're pitching here today. A little different feel for Weaver. And again, like I said, the adrenaline you got going as opening day, and the fact is, you know, your routine's thrown off.
Matt Joyce calls off Eric Ibar in a very quick and economical second inning for Jared Weaver. We'll head to the third. Angels lead at 1-0.
Anymore. or Dodger Stadium at the end of the Freeway Series.
Freeway Series. Both starters go on 1, 2, 3 in the second inning. The Angels here in the third have Iannetta, Giavotella, and Calhoun. Felix Hernandez, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit allowed. That was the home run to Mike Trout in the first inning. Chris Iannetta, .252 batting average last year, 7 home runs. Drove at 43.
Boy, it looked like Chris was looking for a fastball, and you have to say got a breaking pitch. Looking to gear up and try to attack that fastball early on. Felix, the veteran, threw him a breaking ball.
1 ball, 1 strike. Sun has popped through the clouds. Turned out to be a nice afternoon here in Seattle. 2 balls, 1 strike. Crazy to think that this is their first home opener, or opening the season, I should say, at home since 2008. It was the longest streak in Major League Baseball. But to not have the opening game of the season in your home ballpark for that long is just crazy. Iannetta pops it up.
Well, that's getting in his kitchen there on that fastball.
Yeah. 1 down.
And in between innings, we were talking about, we were getting that command of some pitches, and Mike Butcher, the pitch coach, does a nice job of knowing when to feel for his pitches. He's telling him right there to get the elbow up and get the feel out in front. He finally got it on that last fastball to get Zunino to pop it up, and that's the thing for Weaver, getting the feel for his fastball. Once he commands that both sides of the plate, they go along with those devastating secondary pitches. Much easier and less pitches thrown for Weave.
This is Johnny Giavotella, the Angels' second baseman. Fastball. This is inside. First opening day roster.
And get back to what you were talking about, not playing in the opening game here in Seattle. We always talk about that as when I was playing in Kansas City, where the weather's not as good this time of year. You're always going to be able to play here in Seattle.
Grounded to Seager. Good throw across the diamond. Out number 2.
You have the dome, and then you would figure the other places for sure, anywhere in California or anywhere there's a dome. That way you're going to have opening day without any dealing with any issues as far as the weather. Especially this great venue here. You did a great job on this ballpark.
Two outs, nobody on. Cole Calhoun at the plate. He struck out looking in the first. Both teams with 1 hit. Trout with a home run. Seth Smith with a double in the first. More breaking balls this inning.
And that's what we see from Felix. That's why we talked about the keys against him. Jump on the fastball early on, because then he starts really getting comfortable with his secondary pitches, and all 3 of them are plus pitches for him.
One, 2 to Cole. He drives one out toward right field. Moving back on it is Smith. He's there, makes the catch. And the Angels go down in order. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Halos maintaining their 1-0 lead. Round is weeknights at 4 p.m. on Fox Sports 1, streaming live also on Fox Sports Go. 1-0 Angels, bottom of the third. Jared Weaver back to work. No strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit allowed. Dustin Ackley will lead things off, the left fielder. Showing bunt there. Takes a called strike. Hit 245 last year. 14 home runs, 65 runs batted in. Skies this one at the shallow center. Eric Ibar's out there. One away.
And Ackley with good career numbers against Weaver. 345. Good idea by Weaver, especially when you have your second baseman, your shortstop going back on the ball. So Weaver there for coverage at second base. When you're a pitcher, after you release the baseball, you become one of the fifth infielders at that point. Don't stand around and wait around for something to happen. Be there to help out your teammates.
First one is in for a strike on Brad Miller. Shortstop last year at 221, 10 home runs, 36 RBIs. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Good off speed pitch.
I think Weaver remembers Miller jumping on a fastball early on last year, that opening game. Remember, he was turning on a fastball inside. This time, slow curveball.
That missed it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Miller had a 5 for 15 in that 3-game series against the Angels. Had that multi-homer game in Game 2. That's out to center field and hit well. Troutman was playing deep enough to track it down for out number 2.
Five fly ball outs already in the game for Weaver. Especially when you throw a slow changeup and curveballs, you're going to get a lot more fly ball outs. With the hitters out in front, off the end of the bat.
Austin Jackson 0 for 1. Hit a 1-hopper to Eric Ibar. His first time up, and he'll take it just a little bit high. Jackson 3 for 20 now in his career against Weaver. Picked up in a trade with the Tigers last year. Pulls this one down to left field line, foul. Just out in front of that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jackson hit just 229 in the 54 games as a Seattle Mariner last year. Prior to that, he was at 273 with the Tigers. This one pulled, and that is a fair ball. Nothing David Freese could do. A hanging breaking ball. Jackson turns it around for a 2-out double.
He stayed back well on that curveball. Put his hands inside the baseball and drove it right down the line just past David Freese. Be able to get his hands in that breaking ball. Nice effort by David Freese.
It's a pretty good piece of hitting.
Be able to stay back like that, especially because it's coming in at that velocity. Jackson, this is a 225 career hitter against the Angels, but stayed back well on that one.
Here's Seth Smith, who doubled in the first, stranded at third base. Three infielders on the right side. Jim Vitello's out in shallow right. Breaking ball caught the inside corner. Outfield straight around.
.67-mile-an-hour curveball from Weaver. Good 12-6 break. Now you wonder if Weaver will come back with another break ball. Even have the trust in Chris Iannetta to keep it in front if he bounces it in the dirt.
Good lead for Jackson at second. Here comes the 1-2. Down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Seattle just 41-40 last year here at their home ballpark. 46-35 out on the road. Finished in 3rd place, 11 back of the Angels. Robinson Cano's on deck.
It's a pretty good pitch. I don't know how Smith did not go after that one also. Another breaking ball at 67, catching the lower part of the strike zone. It's not where Iannetta catches the ball, where it crosses the plate, and that got the lower part of the zone.
There comes the payoff. Smith yanks it into right field. Cole Calhoun on his horse, dives, can't get it. It'll tie the score up. Smith on his way to second. He's going to think about third, and he will get in there safely. We're tied at 1. So Seth Smith with a double and now a triple.
He was big opening day last year for the Padres. Good try again by Calhoun. Almost able to dive and make that play. A little top hand spin on the baseball because of breaking ball. Very difficult to make that play for Calhoun, and Seth Smith reads that, sees it gets by him, knowing the outfielder went on the ground first. Works his way over to 3rd base for a triple.
So a 1-1 game here in the 3rd. Robinson Cano at the plate. Weaver working from the windup. He lines this one into center, and Seattle takes a 2-1 lead. So 3 consecutive hits for Seattle here in the 3rd, with 2 outs, a double, a triple, and now a single.
Yeah, the one guy you always want to avoid with runners in scoring position, that's Robinson Cano, especially against Weaver. He comes through with a big base hit once again.
Cano off to a big lead at first. Nelson Cruz 0 for 1 as he popped out. Giamatello in the 1st inning. 2-1 Seattle here in the 3rd. They're looking for that 3rd and final out. Two and 0.
Those good counts as a power hitter. Smart pitcher on the mound. Avoid those counts. Change speeds.
Much has been made about Cruz having played in very hitter-friendly ballparks the last 6 years, Texas and Baltimore. Last year's splits were reversed. He was much better on the road. Ground ball to short should do it. High ball will go to Giamatello. They force out Cano. But Seattle strikes for 2 runs. They do it on 3 2-out hits. We'll head to the 4th. Travel lead things off with the Angels down by a run.
opening day. Mike Trout versus King Felix. Mike Trout wins that battle with a home run. First of the season last year, first at bat this season against King Felix again. Mike Trout wins again. Home run, center field. Back-to-back seasons opening up against King Felix with a big fly.
Halos down 2-1. It'll be Trout, Pujols, and Joyce here in the fourth inning against Felix Hernandez, who's retired 8 in a row since the home run to Trout. First one in there for a strike, an off-speed pitch.
Trout now 19 for 50 with 3 home runs and 12 RBI against Felix Hernandez for Mike Trout.
Yanked foul. Nice play. That's why you bring the glove.
Yeah. Really important for the offense to respond right back against Felix Hernandez, especially after Seattle gives him a 2-1 lead.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Well, as a pitcher, even though you've had a lot of success yourself from the mound, you're facing one of the best hitters and a guy that's had some good swings against you. That adrenaline's going for you now. As you see him try to pump a fastball upstairs, trying to avoid anywhere near middle part of the plate. There's 2 home runs we have shown a couple times today, home runs opening day last 2 seasons, both middle part of the plate. One was down middle, the other up middle, both out of the ballpark.
Trout chases the splitter. And there's the first down, 5th strikeout for Felix Hernandez.
Well, this pitch straight down in the dirt again, avoiding anywhere middle part of the plate, but this ball in the dirt.
You know, in years past, you could say that you could some sort of regularity. The Angels got to Felix Hernandez is because he, I don't know, I guess you could use the word stubborn at times to try to overpower hitters, and the Angels took advantage of it. Go back to the Trumbo home run at the Seattle had an 8-0 lead at one point.
Came all the way back against
him. All the way back against Felix at the Big A, but he has become a much craftier pitcher. I mean, dare I say that, even though he's still pumping 90, 91, 92, he just seems like he's become a more complete pitcher, a little less velocity, more control.
Well, you look at the percentage of the pitches thrown, he's around, say, 43, 44% of his pitches are fastballs. Then you mix in over 30% changeups, curveball, sliders. So, yes, he's made that adjustment. He still has his fastball. He's got great other pitches to go to.
2-1 now on Pujols. And if you don't get him early, it seems, especially as far as the Angels are concerned over the last 2 seasons, he just goes into a different gear.
Yeah, the good ones can smell that finish line, and he's excellent once he gets through those first few innings. That's why you got to get a mistake when he makes one. It's a good count right now for Pujols to try to get something elevated.
Breaking ball, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Albert struck out swinging in the first. And Hernandez last year had a string at which he set established a new major league record. 16 straight starts and 7 innings of work and 2 or fewer runs allowed. Didn't have the complete games, but you weren't going to get much out of him.
That's an amazing streak. You know, so often we hear that so-called quality start where you go 6 innings, 3 runs allowed. That's a 4.50 ERA if you put that out over 9 innings.
Yeah, but like participation medals, 4.5 ERA nowadays is supposed to be okay.
That used to get you sent down to the minors.
There's the payoff. Albert chases the breaking ball and rolls it foul.
Yeah, Albert's having a tough time staying back, trying to pull that one. We saw Albert consistently throughout spring training, even in that series against the Dodgers, when something's away, driving the ball the other way. He's having a tough time staying back in these slow breaking balls that Felix Hernandez throw him off the plate and down.
Matt Joyce on deck. That's a cute foul. It's like a Weaver breaking ball, took a little bit more off.
Well, you just keep thinking, and Albert seems to be thinking too, that he's going to try to bust him in with a fastball. So we got him at last at bat, what, 91-mile-an-hour fastball inside.
Two-one Seattle, top of the fourth. Mariners with 3 straight 2-out hits to take the lead. And he bounces that one. It's a walk.
And he came in with a 3-2 changeup.
First walk by either side. Hey, folks, this season the Angels want to give fans exclusive experiences at Angel Stadium. All Access Angels gives fans a chance to bid on great experiences like Steel Third, honorary bat kit, and dinner with the general manager. For more info and to bid on these experiences, visit angels.com/access. Got to work a dinner with Gooby. Oh, yeah. That's an experience.
I'm sure it would be.
First time today that Felix Hernandez has worked from the stretch. Matt Joyce struck out swinging to end the first.
You see by the alignment of the defense, they're anticipating Matt Joyce pulling the ball. The infield and the outfield.
Joyce pulls one over to Robinson Cano. Fires to Miller for one. The relay back to first, not a tie.
Well, that's a long throw for a second baseman to complete a 4-6-3 double play. And Cano has a strong throwing arm, but Matt Joyce runs well enough to be able to prevent that double play from being turned. Quick on the release. Miller with a strong arm himself, but Joyce runs well, prevents a double play, gives David Freese an opportunity to hit with a man on.
So Joyce on board with the fielder's choice, and David Freese now at the plate. 0 for 1. Struck out looking.
That's a guessing fastball first pitch. Not a slider instead.
No balls, 2 strikes. David got off to a slow start last year. Ended up hitting 260 overall in the season.
These are the counts. 0-2 count. Felix is throwing a lot of pitches in the dirt on an 0-2 pitch. Matt Joyce can run a little bit. 14 stolen bases back in 2009. I would take a shot right now.
Pretty good lead, doesn't go. And Freese goes down swinging. Zunino will have to throw to first. They complete the strikeout. So the Angels scoreless here in the fourth as we head to the bottom of the frame with Seattle still leading at 2-1. you see. By your Southern California Toyota dealers. And by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. 2-1 Seattle. Home opener for the Seattle Mariners. The Angels will kick off their home schedule on Friday night against the Kansas City Royals. Jared Weaver back to work here in the bottom of the fourth. And he'll deliver a strike on Kyle Seager. Seager, Morrison, Zunino here in the fourth. Those three went down in order in the second. The ball is 2 strikes.
Again, late on an 84-mile-an-hour fastball. With a hitter up there looking off speed. Both pitchers just so smart on the mound.
Still at 0-2. Weaver with 131 career victories. Third all-time on the Angels list behind Chuck Finley and Nolan Ryan. It's just been, I don't know what it is about this ballpark. Just okay in this ballpark.
They had a 7-8 ERA, almost 4.5. The pitcher's yard.
Quality start.
Well, yeah, well, exactly. 14 career wins against Seattle, though.
Today is his 18th career start here in this ballpark. Seager out in front of the off-speed pitch. Lifts one out to Cole. Calhoun makes the catch for the first down. Take a look at the Honda upcoming schedule for the first time in 2015. It's a 3-game series here in Seattle. The Angels will travel and get in early morning Thursday, have the off day, and then the Royals in town for 3. And then it's back out on the road. The Lone Star road trip.
First time.
Yeah, first time ever. Back-to-back Texas and Houston.
Yep. A 4-game homestand against the Oakland A's. A different-looking Oakland A team. A lot of changes.
Morrison gets into one to center. It's playable for Trout. Last year they did marry the Rangers and Astros on one road trip, but it was Houston, Minnesota, Texas.
Yeah. And why wouldn't you do that?
Because just a little shortcut through Minneapolis there.
Same time zone at least.
Yeah. I tried to think there was a makeup game in Cleveland too in that road trip. Mike Zunino looks at his strike. Saw one pitch in the second inning and skied one out to shallow left.
Generally very aggressive early in count, especially on fastballs. Good power.
Trout put the Angels on the board with a home run in the first inning in Seattle after Weaver got the first 2 outs in the second. Like a 2 spot on the board against Jared. Started with Austin Jackson's double down the left field line, then Seth Smith a triple. Cole trying to make the diving catch, couldn't come up with it. Robinson Cano first pitch swing with the RBI single. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Mike Zunino, who likes the fastball.
Not a changeup like that at 72 though.
22 home runs a season ago, but he also hit 199. Two. Not back.
Best fastball of the day for Weaver. 87 on that one. Shook off a number signs to Chris Iannetta. Gotta believe right now you're looking at a breaking ball. You have quite a few fastballs in the sequence. Well, he's going to go back in with a fastball.
And he got him looking. Zunino knew it. Zunino was looking off.
Looking breaking ball too.
First strikeout of the game for Weaver. 4 in the books. 2-1 Seattle. TV channels on the go than cable. Beautiful downtown Seattle. We are just up the road here at Safeco Field. Halos down 2-1 as they kick off the 2015 campaign. Felix Hernandez, but as advertised, same with Jared Weaver, just made a couple of mistakes in that third inning. A 2-1 ballgame, kind of what you expected with the two guys on the mound. Felix Hernandez racking up his strikeouts. He has 6 of them. He's walked 1. He's allowed 1 hit. That was the home run to Trout in the first. Ibar, Crone, and Iannetta, 6, 7, and 8 for the Halos here in the 5th. Seattle has managed 4 hits against Jared Weaver.
Not a bad idea for Eric Ibar. I wouldn't be surprised at some point he'll want to try a drag bunt down the first baseline. Also playing back.
2 balls, no strikes. Felix at 63 pitches, 41 have been strikes.
That's a great changeup. 89-mile-an-hour changeup. If you're Eric Ibar in a 2-0 count, you have to be looking fastball.
This is pulled to right field. It's a leadoff single. First time the Angels have got their leadoff man on board. We'll bring up the Angels' designated hitter, C.J. Crone.
Ibar with 16 stolen bases last season, caught 9 times. But Felix Hernandez allowed 20 stolen bases in 25 attempts. Just 1 pickoff last year, 10 in his career. So he is susceptible to a stolen base.
One ball, no strikes. He's from that mindset of kind of Nolan Ryan. If you want to steal, go ahead. Steal third if you'd like. I'll take my chances with the guy at the plate, right?
Yeah, 248 punch-outs in 236 innings. He could strike you out, anyone in the lineup. Also a guy that will throw his fair share of wild pitches, 18 of them last year.
Well, we've already seen a lot of pitches in the dirt today. And that hits Crone, so the Angels have their first 2 on.
Now you have an interesting situation here for Mike Scioscia. Chris Iannetta up first, second, no out. You're down by 1. You also have Johnny Giavitelli, the number 9 hitter, hit behind him. We wonder if he'll have him square around. Gets him right in the elbow.
Yeah, got him on. And C.J. Crone wears that protective pad there. And that's why he wears it.
He's not going to give in on that ball in the inner part of the plate. That's why you wear that.
The 2 on, nobody out. Chris Iannetta popped out to Felix Hernandez in the third. Pulled down the line, foul.
You could tell even the defense for Seattle wasn't anticipating a bunt. Seager playing back.
Ibar standing in second and Crone at first. First time today the Angels have had multiple base runners in one inning. Oh, 2 count.
Another 0-2 pitch. You've seen from Felix a lot of pitches in the dirt 0-2. So if you're Eric Ibar, get that good secondary lead in case the ball gets away from Zunino.
Zunino does such a good job behind the plate blocking pitches. What a comfort that must be for a starting pitcher, any starting pitcher, any pitcher for that matter.
It really gives you that confidence of throwing your very best breaking ball when you're ahead of the count, because you fought to get to that 0-2 count, and you want to throw your very best pitch. If you have a catcher who's can smother that breaking ball in the dirt, you're more apt to not make a mistake on an 0-2 pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Tough take right there on that pitch with 2 strikes.
Especially as that changeup in between the velocity of a fastball and a changeup.
This one lifted foul and out of play.
Well, every great pitcher has one of those innings in which they struggle a little bit. We've had that back in the 3rd inning, gave up a couple runs. This could be the inning for Felix Hernandez to struggle. That's why as an offense, you have to capitalize and score before he gets locked back in again.
Goes down swinging and unable to advance the runners at the very least.
.79-mile-an-hour curveball off the plate. It's a big swing and miss for Felix Hernandez. 7 punch-outs now in the game for him.
So 1 out, 2 on, and here's Johnny Giavitelli, grounded out to Seager in the 3rd. Ground ball towards short. Miller to Cano. To Morrison. The Angels are done here in the 5th. They get the first 2 on and leave them stranded. Went to the bottom of the inning, 2-1 Seattle.
Yeah, we saw him earlier today.
Still wouldn't talk to us though.
I know. He said hi.
Dustin Ackley leads things off by taking ball 1. Ackley, Miller, and Jackson 8-9 and 1 for Seattle. Ackley's 0 for 1 as he popped out to shallow left. His first time up. Well, against Felix Hernandez, you have to take advantage of those little opportunities that are presented to you during a ball game, as they were in the top of the 5th. And Ackley hits a high, towering shot to deep right field, and it's 3-1 Mariners. A long home run for Ackley.
And Ackley continues to hit Weaver well. That's his third career home run, 3 RBI for Ackley against Weaver. Good count to hit. He didn't miss it. Down the hard of the plate and elevate it. Always been more of a pull hitter. Pulled that one out by a lot.
Again, that was homer number 1 on a 2-0.
Miller takes down and away for ball 1. He had one out to center field his first time up. One and 2. 65 pitches thrown by Weaver. 40 have been strikes. Home run by Ackley, the 5th hit now for Seattle.
Miller almost tried to turn into that pitch.
Smoke from the fireworks is just now over the mound.
Good time to pitch. A little distraction as a hitter.
Ground ball toward the middle. That's a base hit. It's another off-speed pitch that was up in the zone.
You can track it much better something all speed up as compared to when just down, knee, or below.
Jackson started the rally off for Seattle in the 3rd inning with a double down the left field line. He scored the Smith triple. One ball, one strike.
Last year, lefties hit Weaver to a 255 clip, right-handed batters. Just 212 so far in this game, 5 of the 6 hits. Well, Seattle's been against by left-handed batters against Weaver.
Quick throw by Weaver. Miller looked like he may have been leaning a little bit.
Up 3-1. Good speed at the plate. Good speed on at first base. Willie McClennan's more apt to be able to put something on as far as a hit and run.
One and 2 now. Guys loosening and just kind of stretching out of the Angels bullpen out of left field. Nobody's warming up as of yet. Iannetta can't find the ball in the dirt. He tried to dig that on a short hop as opposed to just blocking it. Miller read it well and takes second base.
And want to turn the glove the opposite way around, keep it in front. As a base runner, you can read that in front. You can see that from Miller. Then he sees it gets away from Iannetta. Then he's able to advance. Initially, though, if you have the glove turned around the other way, if you're Iannetta, you keep it in front. He doesn't go.
I'm trying to figure out why you even try to backhand that. It's not as if Miller was on the move and you're just trying to backhand it, hope you get it, and throw down. That's a straight block right there once you read that. So full count. Seth Smith on deck. Ackley leading off this 5th inning with a home run to right. His first of the year. Jammed him, flared out to right field. Not very deep. Cole Calhoun comes racing in. One down.
It's a big out. Not only is it out, but it's a shallow fly ball to the right. Doesn't allow Miller to advance to third base. He's trying to hit the ball to the right side. He didn't want to hit it on the ground instead of a short fly ball. Didn't get the job done.
Smith 2 for 2 with a double and a triple. He's also picked up an RBI and scored a run. Gets this one out to left center field. That's hit well. Trout giving chase. So is Joyce. Joyce goes into it. Slides, can't come up with it, and the ball goes over the fence for a double. Run will score, and it's 4-1. That ball off the bat of Smith was slicing back towards Joyce, and it looked as if at the last minute Joyce may have called Trout off.
And this ball is hit extremely well the other way. And they're both looking at each other. At the last second, Joyce is sliding in to try to make the play and avoid contact. It's a knee towards the face area and neck area. And fortunately enough, both are all right because Trout slammed into the wall himself. Those difficult plays, it's tough to call that baseball as it slices back towards the left fielder and Matt Joyce.
Cano looks at a strike. Seth Smith with 3 extra base hits already today. 2 doubles and a triple. 2 runs batted in. Cano 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Angels are starting some action in the bullpen now. Little flare to second. Giavotella has it. 2 outs.
Sort of momentum shift, though. You have first and second, no outs. The top of the inning, chance to tie the game at least. Said Felix Hernandez made some good pitches, a strikeout and a double play ball, and the offense comes right back.
Cesar Ramos getting ready. Nelson Cruz now up, and he swings the first breaking ball, fouls it back. Cruz 0 for 2, a pop-up and a fielder's choice. Four 4-1 Seattle. 2 in the third, 2 so far here in the 5th, and they've got a man at second base.
.80 pitches thrown by Weaver, 49 of them strikes, 31 out of the strike zone. It's been a battle for him today.
Might be his last batter. You had Seager and Morrison due up following Cruz. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, you got to try to keep it close no matter what, especially when Felix Hernandez is your opponent on the mound.
Breaking ball sky to right. Cole Calhoun is there. That'll end this 5th inning, but not before the Seattle Mariners extend their lead. They lead it now 4-1. Rockies in the Bronx, followed by a playoff rematch as the Royals take on Mike Trout and the Angels. Coverage begins this Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Seattle on top, 4-1 as we begin the top of the 6th inning. The Angels will have the top of their order coming up now. Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols. Cole Calhoun 0 for 2, a strikeout in the first and a fly ball to right in the third. The Angels with a golden opportunity to do something against Felix in the 5th. Ibar led off with a single, and Crow was hit by a pitch, but then Iannetta struck out. Johnny Giavotella, first ball swinging, rolled into a 6-4-3 inning ending double play.
75 pitches thrown by Felix Hernandez, 49 of them strikes, just 26 out of the strike zone.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Boy, paints both sides of the plate so well. Not afraid to pitch inside even against left-handed batters.
One and 2.
Calhoun is 1 for 17 now in his career against Felix Hernandez.
This one out toward left field. Dustin Ackley moving toward the line. 1 out. That'll bring up Trout. This is what he did back in the 1st inning.
After a long at-bat foul on some tough pitches, Felix Hernandez finally made a mistake, and Mike Trout made it pay for it. First at-bat of the season for the reigning MVP of the American League. Went yard.
Hernandez won round 2 in the 4th inning when he struck out Trout on a breaking ball. One run, 2 hits, no errors. The Angels have stranded 2 base runners. Seattle with 4 runs, 7 hits. That left 3 guys on base.
Change up in off the plate with good movement, followed by a breaking ball. So you've seen an assortment of pitches.
Trout chases the high fastball for the 2nd out here in the 6th. 8th strikeout of the afternoon for Felix Hernandez.
Then after off speed goes upstairs with a fastball. Because of the fact early in the count, got the inside part of the plate, have to be more apt to chase that ball inside. Never know if it's going to be called a strike or not.
Albert has not looked comfortable at the plate. His first 2 plate appearances against Felix so far today. Struck out in the 1st, eventually worked a walk in the 4th. Might be the one and only fastball you see in this plate appearance.
Especially in that zone, too. Got a little bit more of the plate than Felix probably wanted to get.
Two balls and a strike. Albert fouls it off. Two balls, two strikes, two outs. Albert chops this one to short. Miller to Morrison. The Angels are done here in the sixth. Seattle still leading at 4-1. The Kansas City Royals, and on Sunday at 12:35 it'll be game 3, and fans in attendance will receive an Angels wall calendar courtesy of U.S. Bank while supplies last. Purchase your tickets today by visiting the Angel Stadium ticket office or online at angels.com. Seager, Morrison, and Zunino against Jared Weaver here in the 6th inning. Cesar Ramos is up and loosening once again. Weaver just threw his 83rd pitch. Two balls, no strikes. Seager 0 for 2. Ground ball to short and a fly ball to right.
2-0 count. Saw 2-0 count to Ackley. He was able to drive a baseball.
Seager gets into one to right, but it's playable for Cole. One away.
Now 85 pitches, 20 in the first, 21 in the third, and 23 in the fifth. So the odd number of innings has been a struggle. Been quick and economical on the even number of innings so far for Weaver.
Morrison, the first baseman, 0 for 2. Game 2 tomorrow has a couple of left-handers on the mound. James Paxton going for Seattle. C.J. Wilson on the hill for the Angels.
Wilson, 15 career wins against Seattle.
Trying to bounce back from a very shaky 2014. Then on Wednesday night, Hisashi Iwakuma against Matt Shoemaker. Two balls, one strike. This is pulled into right field. A breaking ball. Morrison waited on it nicely. That wasn't that bad of a breaking pitch. We've seen some in which Weaver's hung today, but that one was down to the zone. Morrison just went down and got it.
I think part of it is because of his fastball command hasn't been quite the same, what we're normally accustomed to seeing, and you're able to stay back and just look breaking ball, whether it's curveball, changeup, slider, just looking and not worrying necessarily about the fastball. Because Weaver generally will, as the game progresses, even if he doesn't have a feel for the fastball early on, always gets it back, but it hasn't been the case today.
Zunino grounds one to third. Should do it. Zunino rolls into the inning-ending double play. 6 complete here in Seattle. Well, the Angels trail it. The score 4-1.
Has a lot of confidence in Mike Zunino to keep that break ball in front. Couple in the dirt, blocked it, even on a tough slider, kept it in front, couldn't get away from enough for the able to freeze to be able to advance. That's solid defensive skills by Zunino, keeping that ball from getting away when it's in the dirt.
Well, it started off well for the Angels with the home run by Trout in the first inning, but that has been it. The bats have been silent since.
Mike Zunino with good hands, frames it well. But above all, when you have a catcher that can block those pitches in the dirt like that, especially with the staff they have. Iwakuma is another guy that throws a lot of split finger fastballs in the dirt. Paxton, that hard breaking ball in the dirt also. Have a lot of confidence in your catcher to keep it in front.
Former Florida Gator. Joyce fouls off the first pitch. Joyce followed by Freese and Ibar here against Felix Hernandez in the 7th. Seattle is starting to get some action going in their bullpen as well.
It's amazing. Early on, Felix Hernandez, first pitch, fastball, first couple innings. Then from that point forward, now he's mixing it up, whether it's his curveball or slider, changeup on occasion. And perfect technique once again on a pitch in the dirt by Mike Zunino behind the plate. And getting back to what you talked about earlier, Victor, when you're a pitcher on the mound and you know your catcher's going to be able to smother and keep that baseball in front, you're more apt to not ever really hang a breaking ball 0-2. You're going to snap it in the dirt, trust you might get a swing and miss.
Joyce goes down swinging, 9th punch out of the afternoon for Felix Hernandez. Much of the same as we pointed out earlier in this ballgame. What Felix has done to the Angels over the last 2 seasons continues today.
An elevated fastball, get a swing and miss there. And early on, for a number of years, the Angels has had this tremendous success against Felix Hernandez. No one else in baseball did, but the Angels did. But the last couple of years, especially last year and into this game here today.
Freese bounces one right back to Felix. Flips it over to Logan Morrison. 2 down. They got a check on him. Think that ball got him?
I wonder if it got his hand when he's fielding it, or no, it didn't look like much of a bobble. Right back up the middle, hit well by Freese. Maybe the hip. And he falls over towards first base when he delivers the baseball, so that hip is going to be susceptible on a ground ball like that, but he was able to field it off his hip and easily get David Freese at first base.
So 2 down, and Eric Ibar at the plate. He singled to lead off the 5th inning. One for 2. Lifted, fouled it out of play. New bat needed after that last swing. Tom Wilhelmsen getting ready for Seattle.
More than likely the last inning for Felix Hernandez.
Charlie Furbush just got up, lefty. Two balls, 2 strikes. And Eric Ibar will go down looking as the Angels go down in order. 7th inning stretch time in Seattle. The Halos down 4-1.
Hyundai.com to get a fast, free quote and see how much you could save. And by Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Well, it's a beautiful day in Seattle. It's just we don't like the results so far. 4-1 Mariners as we begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Turn in and out. Who's in, who's out. Jared Weaver is done after 6 innings, and his former college teammate Cesar Ramos on a relief. Dustin Ackley looks to the strike. Ackley, Miller, and Jackson. 8-9-1 for the Mets.
Ramos, solid season last year. Had 7 starts also. 66 punch outs and 82 2/3 innings pitched for the Rays.
909. 4-5. 9-0-9. That is a sellout.
No balls, 2 strikes on Ackley, who homered off of Weaver in the 5th inning. Jared ends up going 6 innings, 8 hits, including that home run, 1 strikeout, no walks, 4 runs, all earned. The tapper foul.
Yeah, Weaver no walks, but fell behind a number of counts, including one here to Ackley last at bat. 2-0 count, got a fastball, hit it out.
4 runs, 4 earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout, 1 wild pitch, 1 home run allowed. And Weaver 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout, 1 wild pitch, 1 home run. Weaver threw 90 pitches, 9-0.
90 pitches thrown by Weaver in his first start of the season. Ramos came over with Matt Joyce in the Jepson trade. One of 2 left-handers in the bullpen for Mike Scioscia and Jose Alvarez. 2 balls, 2 count, or 2 strikes, I should say. Foul tipped right into the mitt. There's the first down.
Good velocity on that fastball, 91. Hyundai key to this game. Talk about blessings. Opening day. Talent all over this field. One of the best in the game, period. Mike Trout hit a home run, his first at bat this season against one of the very best pitchers in the game, in Felix Hernandez, who certainly dominated himself today. Blessed with a lot of great athletes, great players in this game today, and be an opening day. Ten punch outs and 7 innings pitched for Felix Hernandez. Another dominating performance. It's 1 walk, 10 punch outs. It's 2 hits allowed. That 1 run allowed, a home run. And Mike Trout leading off his first at bat for Trout.
Breaking ball out to right field, and that'll fall in for a base hit. Miller will stay at first. Second hit of the afternoon for Brad Miller. It'll put a man on for Austin Jackson. Jackson's had himself a 1-for-3 day. A double with a run scored at the 3rd.
A big double, really, with 2 outs. Started that 2-run rally in the 3rd inning. Seth Smith, who's had a great game today. 2 doubles and a triple. Following him up with a triple after that double by Jackson with 2 outs.
Little flare out to right center field. That'll fall in. Miller's going to try to go to 3rd. Here comes a throw from Cole, and it is easily in time.
I think Miller saw our highlight at the beginning of the game talking about outfield arms and assists by Cole Calhoun. What a perfect throw. He charged it well, right on the money. Himself in very good throwing position, right over the top. And a perfect throw and tag by Freese on Miller.
And under control for Cole Calhoun.
A lot of times, a guy, when they see that, they'll throw a high throw.
Yeah.
But that was a perfect one-hop throw by Cole Calhoun.
Justin Ruggiano will pinch hit here for Seth Smith. He finishes the afternoon going 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a triple. 2 runs batted in.
That's not good enough to get that fourth at bat going against a lefty.
Smith, the first Mariner ever to have 3 extra base hits on opening day. Austin Jackson with a decent lead over at first base. That base hit for Jackson, the 10th hit for Seattle today. Ruggiano coming over to Seattle in a trade with the Cubs this offseason. 281 and 81 games with the Cubs. Fouls this one back. Been with the Rays, the Marlins, and the Cubs, and now as well as the Seattle Mariners. (4-1) Seattle here in the bottom of the 7th. Full count. 2 outs. Jackson's going to take off on the next pitch. Halos in the 8th inning have Crone, Iannetta, and Giavotella due up. Danny Farquhar was starting to loosen. Fernando Rodney still the closer for the Mariners. Payoff pitch. And he walked him. So 2 on, 2 outs, and Robinson Cano now up.
Well, you just got to try to keep it close, because one thing about Fernando Rodney, he can always make it interesting.
Vinny Pastano now getting ready. Robinson Cano 1 for 3, an RBI single back in the 3rd. Jumped on the first pitch he saw from Weaver in that 3rd inning. Up and in.
It's 3 in a row upstairs. Ramos, good decision for Chris Iannetta to go out and talk to him now at this point.
That'll leave it a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Seattle with 2 1/3 to take the lead. They extended the lead in the 5th inning with 2 runs in that frame. Ackley home run and a Smith RBI double. That's where we stand right now. And Ramos trying to keep it a 3-run deficit for the Angels. Pickoff attempt at first, and almost got Ruggiano sleeping over there.
That's a good play. You see that a lot in spring training. You work on that play. That's put on by the first baseman, Albert Pujols, Cincinnati, and it's all about timing. As a pitcher, you just throw towards the base and hope that Albert's going to be there. It was a close play.
Swing and a miss. Back pick to second. A high throw. Nice job by Eric Ibar. Would have been interesting if that throw was on the bag.
Pretty good indication how good of a hitter Robinson Cano is. They're trying to get a pick off at first and then try a pick off back at second to still avoid that swing of Robinson Cano. High throw. Now Jackson to get back to the base.
One ball, two strikes, 2 outs here in the 7th. Another pickoff, no throw this time. One, two. Jammed him and foul back. Long look in for Ramos. And he got him, tied him up with a fastball up and in. Down goes Cano. We've played 7 here in Seattle, and the Angels still down 4-1.
Mike Trout once again, home run off of King Felix to start the season. First at bat, but then King Felix from this point forward had all his pitches working. Fastball, command, slider, changeup in the dirt, in and out with his pitches. Dominant 10 strikeout performance by King Felix. As the Mariners lead this one 4-1 here at the top of the 8th.
Danny Farquhar, the Florida native, comes on to relief here of Felix Hernandez. He'll pitch the 8th inning. 66 games last year, one of the invaluable pieces to this Mariners bullpen. 3-1 and a 2.66 ERA.
Yeah, he's got a good power fastball, 92-96 cut fastball. Throws a lot of them. Curveball, changeup.
C.J. Cron will look at a first pitch strike. Cron 0 for 1. He popped out in the 2nd and he was hit by a pitch in the 5th. And he drills one out towards center field. Austin Jackson moving back, and onto the track he goes to make the catch for the first out. One down. Folks, you can follow the Angels all season long with MLB.com @BAT, the #1 app for live baseball. @BAT is the up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay, reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more.
More?
Yeah, they finally changed the read. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet today.
That's a lot.
Not what I was expecting to read.
Makes me happy. There's a lot of stuff.
Here's Chris Iannetta. He's 0 for 2. Popped out to Felix in the third inning and struck out in the fifth. Big strikeout, too, at that point, as this one's out toward right center field. Jackson took an interesting route to that baseball, thus allowing it to fall in for a one-out base hit.
I think when you look at the course of this game right now, that inning in which Felix Hernandez struck out Chris Iannetta, that's really been the big difference in the game. At that point, a 2-1 game. At the very least, you're thinking a tie game, if not taking the lead. Instead, a strikeout, and then right away a double play ball. And then Seattle responds with 2 runs in the bottom of the fifth.
You touched on it a little bit at that point. Mike Scioscia deciding not to play small ball there, asking Iannetta to swing away as opposed to perhaps sacrificing and giving Giavotella, or giving yourself really 2 chances with Giavotella and Calhoun if Johnny doesn't come through. And those are the opportunities against Felix Hernandez, especially over the last couple of years. We touched on it, that you better take advantage of. You better scratch out a run or 2, because that's the only opening he's going to give you.
Yeah, like we said in that fifth inning, great pitchers always have an inning. No matter how well they're going, they're going to struggle with their command, and that was the inning. And Mike Scioscia showing the trust in Iannetta to get the job done. If not driving in the run, at the very least hit the ball to that right side of the infield to advance the runners, especially with Giavotella coming up hitting in the number 9 spot. Hit this .216 last year with 5 RBI for Kansas City. All of a sudden now, though, you get a base hit right here. You have the tying run come to the plate, and Cole Calhoun. That's why it was important for Ramos to get that big strikeout of Robinson Cano last inning.
Breaking ball is in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Giavotella 0 for 2. Ground down and a double play ball.
Zunino is the machine on blocking pitches in the dirt. That slider was well off the plate.
And Giavotella pulls one into left field. There's a base hit. Ackley to the backhand cuts it off. Stopping at second is Iannetta. So the Angels have 2 on, 1 out. Cole Calhoun up.
And that's all you want is that opportunity. Looks like Lloyd McClendon may go to the bullpen now. Cole has shown he can stay in there well against left-handed pitching.
Charlie Furbush getting ready. And it'll be Furbush coming into the ballgame. A pitching change. We are in the 8th. The Angels down by 3, but we'll have the tying run coming to the plate when we return. Getting back-to-back one-out hits to put runners at first and second, forcing Lloyd McClendon's hand to go to the bullpen, and it's Charlie Furbush, lefty, on in relief. 67 games a season ago, went 1-5 and a 3.61 ERA. And he'll face Cole Calhoun here with Iannetta at second base and Johnny Giavatella standing at first.
Furbush fastball, 90-94 slider, throws about 38-39% of his pitch will be sliders. And Calhoun will see a lot of sliders against Mir. Curveball, changeup. Old school socks he's got working out there on the mound also.
Yes, he does. Calhoun last year against left-handed pitching, .252. Swings the first one and cuts through it.
Hugh got that slider first pitch. Furbush is a pitcher with a lot of arms and legs, distraction, especially those shoes, socks, deception in his delivery. Probably only on to face Calhoun before Lloyd McClendon will go back down to the bullpen.
A couple of righties getting ready for Seattle, one of which is Yoenis Medina.
Now, if you're Cole, you're just trying to make contact. Flair went out to left field. Hope that something's elevated enough you can do that.
One ball, two strikes.
The old fastball for show there, 0-2. Going to come back with try to sweep and breaking ball.
Carson Smith has joined Medina. Two balls, two strikes. Furbush, especially against left-handers, very rarely works inside with a fastball. Everything is away. Get you kind of keep that plane out there, and then, like you said, that sweeping breaking ball.
And one thing I've noticed, though, from Furbush over the years, he doesn't necessarily throw that for a strike. So if you can have the patience not to go after that pitch, although it's easier said than done, that you can at the very least get yourself into a 3-2 count if you're Cole Calhoun.
Handles with 4 hits this afternoon, 2 against Felix Hernandez and 2 against Danny Farquhar here in the 8th inning. 2-2. Down and away. Full count.
Zunino just moves so well. That slider well off the plate once again, almost in the right-handed batter's box. Keeps it in front. Now that's a big play too if you're a catcher, because otherwise it's second and third. And even a routine ground ball out would give the Angels their second run of the game.
And seriously, just put that on a loop for anybody who wants to be a catcher and how to block baseballs.
Yeah, this perfect technique.
Trout on deck. Payoff pitch on the way. And it is a called strike 3. Calhoun doesn't like the call.
Yeah, he snuck a fastball by him. He was looking breaking ball. Got a fastball instead.
2 down.
And they got the plate.
Yep.
It froze Cole Calhoun on that spot, thinking breaking ball.
Furbush is going to stay in the game to face Trout. Or is he now?
No, I was going to say Lloyd would put himself in position to be second guessed if Trout can get a hold of one, especially when all those right-handers down in the bullpen.
Guess they needed to sneak an extra pitch or two in the bullpen there. But he waited for Trout to get into the batter's box. Little gamesmanship, perhaps.
Either that, I go, that was a good pitch by Furbush. Oh, wait a minute, I better get back to the bullpen.
Pitching change once again. run when he comes to the plate in the first inning. This is what he did against Felix Hernandez.
They're long and bad, fought off some tough pitches, dries out, went out, giving the Angels an early lead. Leadoff home run, back-to-back season, first at bat of the season, back-to-back years for Trout against Felix Hernandez.
Carson Smith, the Texas native, on in relief now. Got to the big leagues for the first time last year, September call-up. Pitched in 9 games, went 8 in the 3rd innings, 2 hits, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks, did not allow a run.
Another one of his power arms out of the bullpen for Seattle, 92-96, but throws a lot of sliders. Last season, nearly 46% of his pitches were sliders, occasional changeup.
Trout will look at a first pitch strike. Mike is 1 for 3 with a home run and 2 strikeouts. Oh, 2. Check swing. Did it go? No. Ron Colpo with the call at first base. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Pretty tough pitch also. See if Trout went. Oh, real close. Could have gone either way.
Figure they go back to the slider. Nope. Fastball in, and they tied him up. The Angels are done here in the 8th. We'll head to the bottom of the inning with Seattle still leading it 4-1. In this ball game to battle back, they certainly have. It's just not taking advantage of it. Tip of a cap, I guess you could say, to the Seattle Mariners pitching staff. Charlie Furbush, a perfect pitch to Cole Calhoun, and Carson Smith set up Mike Trout perfectly.
Hey, that's all you want is that opportunity. You have Cole Calhoun with a chance to tie it, and of course Mike Trout an opportunity to tie it up too. Homer his first at bat in the first inning. Smith with a perfect pitch.
Yeah, home run and 3 strikeouts for Trout on the afternoon, and now Fernando Salas takes over on the mound for Cesar Ramos, who went 1 inning. Struck down 2, walked 1, and allowed 2 hits in a scoreless 7th inning. Salas to face Cruz, Seager, and Morrison here in the 8th. Fernando Rodney getting ready for Seattle. He'll pitch the 9th.
Pitch media, here's a few pitching lines. First for the Angels.
Halos have struck out 12 times this afternoon.
And that's something they talked about a lot in Tempe, that two-strike approach, putting the ball in play, making the defensive club make plays against you.
Nelson Cruz 0 for 3 today.
Farquhar, 1/3 of an inning, 2 hits. And Danny Farquhar, 1/3 of an inning, 2 hits.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Cruz reaching for that one. It's a 2-hopper to David Freese. 1 down. That'll bring up Kyle Seager. Stick around after the last out. Mazda post-game show. Angels Live. Patrick O'Neill and Jose Mota will break it all down for you. That's immediately following the last out.
Well, a lot to break down in this game. Some good swings as far as early on for Trout, and then Ackley with a home run himself. Seattle offense just good enough, and Felix Hernandez was outstanding in 7 innings, 10 punch-outs.
Bouncer to the right side, and Eric Ibar in the overshift throws out Kyle Seager.
That's a shortstop.
2 outs.
Right-hander Fernando Rodney warming the Mariners bullpen. Rodney.
Logan Morrison takes outside. He's had a 1 for 3 game with a base hit back in the 6th inning. Jared Weaver got the start for the Angels. 6 innings, 4 runs, 8 hits, including a home run. 1 strikeout, no walks. Felix Hernandez, 7 innings, 10 strikeouts. 3rd time in his career. He's had 10 or more strikeouts in an opening day start. Morrison in his 2nd season with Seattle. Picked up in a trade with the Fish prior to last year. One, 2 on the way. Fouled off. Halos in the 9th inning against Fernando Rodney. We'll have Pujols, Joyce, and Freese coming up.
Always interesting when Fernando Rodney comes in the game. Good.
A 2-ball, 2-strike count. And Morrison looks this one out towards center. Trout at the wall. Leaps up, and he got it. Mike Trout at the wall. Takes one away from Logan Morrison for the 3rd out here in the 8th.
Wow. Home run. 1st inning. Prevents a home run here in the 8th inning. Great play by Mike Trout. Rodney, one of the best fastballs. Closing position, 133 saves last 3 seasons. Fastball, 93 to 98, and one of the best changeups you'll see from a right-handed pitcher. But on occasion, we've seen it both wearing an Angels uniform and wearing that Seattle uniform. He will get wild. Just needs some base runners.
Well, the bottom of the 8th inning came to an end in a nice little fashion defensively for Mike Trout. Timed it perfectly, even looking into that sunshine.
Yeah, not an easy play. Had to go a long way to be able to make the play, and well over the wall to be able to prevent Seattle from having a 4-run lead. Send down a 3-run lead. Great play by Trout. Led off to his first at bat with a home run, and then robs a home run there, showing his good buddy Garrett Richards how far he got over that wall to make that play.
Your attention media, post game for the Seattle Mariners. Post game.
Fernando Rodney
Interview room.
ready to start this 9th inning. The Angels down by 3 runs.
Right-handed pitcher Felix Hernandez, outfielder Seth Smith. That'll be in the main interview room following.
Pujols, Joyce, and Freeze for the Halos here in the 9th. Albert, a strikeout, a walk, and a ground out. That's an 0 for 2 start to the 2015 campaign. One ball, no strikes. 3 pitchers in the 8th inning for Seattle. Farquhar, a third of an inning, 2 hits. Horbush, 1/3 with a strikeout. Smith, 1/3 with a strikeout. And that was of Trout to finish off the 8th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1 now. Fernando with 48 saves a season ago and a 2.85 ERA. 3 balls, 1 strike.
He's got to show some patience. Got to get some base runners because Fernando Rodney can get wild. A memorable comeback last year against Fernando Rodney at the Big A. Which he blew a save.
Yep. Led baseball with those 48 saves last year and also broke Kazasaki's Mariner record. 45 back in 01. Full count. "12 years in the big leagues for Fernando Rodney." Matt Joyce on deck. Here comes the 3-2. Albert works the walk. Leadoff man on board. Just the second time this afternoon.
Good patience by Albert, knowing you need base runners. Well, anything hitting the air at this point is very difficult play for an outfielder. We saw Trout make that outstanding play, but that even when he was in the dugout, he was telling Garrett Richards how difficult it was to see that ball, to be able to make that play.
Joyce takes a strike. Matt in his Angels debut 0 for 3 so far. 2 strikeouts and a fielder's choice. Four hits today for the Halos. 10 for Seattle. Two multi-run innings for Seattle, the 3rd and 5th. It's Jared Weaver. 1-1 now. 1-2. Bouncer to first. Logan Morrison has it. He'll go to second for one. No relay back. So fielder's choice for Joyce.
A lot of times you'll see a first baseman just make that play with the pitcher covering the bat, but you want to get that lead runner because you still have a force play set up at second base in case there's a tough play in the hole where you have one of your middle infielders or potentially your third baseman still have that throw to second instead of a long throw across the diamond.
So 1 out, 1 on, and David Freese up 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a hot smash right back to Felix Hernandez. That was in the 7th. 0-1.
And you're still pitching Freese inside. This entire game, a lot of fastballs in. Back inside again. Now we're at 96.
Eric Ibar's on deck. Ground ball to the right side. Morrison with a nice play. It's a force out at first, a tag play at second, and that's how this one ends. A double play turned by Seattle. The Angels drop the opener 4-1.
Well, Seattle has pitched so well. The story of this game, Felix Hernandez, 7 very good innings. Just a couple hits allowed, 10 punch outs. Started off well for the Angels. Mike Trout with a home run in the first inning. Couple opportunities in the 5th and the 8th inning with 2 on. An opportunity against a very good staff, both Felix and then the bullpen for Seattle. This didn't get that clutch hit to get all the way back in the game. Seattle, this is enough offense. So good swings. Ackley, Seth Smith, really the story offensively with 2 doubles and a triple. Big game for him.
Felix Hernandez picks up the win. Jared Weaver takes the loss as the Angels drop the opener of 2015 by the final of 4-1. Stick around. Angels Live is coming up next.